Greetings. My name is AFPRC. I am here for us to share another special session. The theme before us today is the following: AFPRC, Armed Forces Provisional Ruling Council, now APRC, a demonic cartel using the cosmetics of democracy to change face. Its demonic side is dormant, but not yet extinct. Analysis by your brother AFPRC. We will proceed with the preamble. AFPRC-APRC is without doubt closer to being a sleeper cell, in quotes, within and outside the Gambia than a political animal searching for democratic pasture. That cartel is nothing more than a so-called party. It is walking on a thin line between party-sponsored terrorism and conducting a pure, in quotes, political campaign. AFPRC-APRC is vindictive and therefore did not change its Secretary General on purpose. It is closer to being a security threat than anything political. Of course, does not mean that it should be banned, but of course does not also mean that it should not be scrutinized. Tracking them, I mean APRC, from Banjul to Fonyi Brefet. There is a reason why I zoomed on Brefet, then to Fas Dakar, Switzerland, Belgium, United Kingdom, Scotland, United States of America, within the Gambian community of course, Guinea-Conakry, ultimately Malabo for now is in earnest. Ongoing investigations will reveal a lot more about APRC in due course, inshallah. I promised, and I do promise once again, that I will deliver, inshallah. Balagaba Jahumpa is quiet and has started seeing the light. Some APRC National Assembly members, former and present, I know have disowned the party in their hearts, but are yet to come out in the open. Now against April 6th or beyond, shocks that cannot be absorbed will definitely revisit their heart hurts. One African proverb says it this way, which is in Wolof: Mbejum kanam borom mokoy fajal bopam. Meaning, the person who received a slap on the face should be the very one to revenge and no one else. In the case of AFPRC party, these words fit them and their legacy most, and I will quote, still in Wolof: Semmenchi Bopa, Doctor Mokoy Fach Waye du Boucher. Meaning, when axed on the head, it is a doctor who can cure the wound, but not a butcher. Gambians, now the answer should come from you and no one else. Between the coalition come tactical alliance and the AFPRC-APRC, I believe, after what we have endured for 22 years, We all know who the butchers are. One more time, let me remind myself and each one of you out there that remorse, empathy, sympathy are not words in the AFPRC-APRC bank or store. Look at the rather laughable caravan Yankuba Koli and others organized yesterday. Think about the timing and location. Of course, they know that they cannot do it everywhere in the Gambia. It came out when the new government announced that they have finally exhumed the remains of Solo Sanding for autopsy and then ultimately a proper burial. Instead of issuing an apology and condemn their party Secretary General's legacy, alongside announce his replacement, they are chanting his name with praises. Legally, strategically, and diplomatically speaking, any party that sings the praises of a serial killer like Yahya Jammeh is closer to being an organization of outlaws than a political party per se. The AFPRC-APRC leadership is definitely composed of killers who pose as guardians and the like, some of whom were directly answerable to Usman Sonko, and they know it. If Usman Sonko could be extradited back, it would definitely further authenticate anything I am writing here. He will mention names that will make some people jump out of their chairs or beds. Get him back from Bern, Switzerland, and see. Some of those campaigning for this cartel calling itself a political party were killers who used to operate under the cover of darkness. Some of those very killers still harbor killer instincts in them, which without doubt in my mind will ever remain in them. These are marauding agents of death who are closer to being a sleeper cell than propaganda machine for a political party. One clue is here. During the last 3 weeks or so, some people have been seeing two figures who keep appearing and reappearing in dance halls and nightclubs within the greater Banjul area, but these figures remain elusive. The person who spotted them was holidaying in the Gambia from the United States of America. They are believed to be Pakistani. There are Turkish finding ways to fund some former APRC or Jammeh APRC party militants and former stalwarts. Follow the trend of those Turkish posing as car sellers in the Gambia and see more for yourself. AFPRC-APRC should not be viewed as any other party. I am sending a wake-up signal once again to the new team. Well, that's my duty, and that should be the duty of any concerned citizen. So don't say you have not been alerted. Closely monitor the activities of Yankuba Koli. If need be, Fabakary Tombong Jatta should tell us his position. Yankuba Baji, former NIA, is gone. Saul Baji, former State Guard, is gone. Musa Savage is gone. Now ask yourselves this question. How many remain within and outside the Gambia who are working on that thin line between party-sponsored terrorism, which used to be state-sponsored terrorism until December 1st, 2016, and conducting pure democratic in quotes campaign? Who are the poles and moles in Belgium, Scotland, United States of America, within the Gambian community, of course? Senegalese intelligence and Gambian intel should come together on that. How about the caves at Manjai Kunda and Jeshua? These are not speculations. These are professional findings. I am not a journalist. Leaving APRC to operate and then cover itself with the cosmetics of democracy as a political party when everything goes within is definitely going to remain irresponsible if they are left to continue that way. Check the timing also when it comes to what was said about Yahya on Jeune Afrique, which I read and translated for you recently, as recent as yesterday at night. That is to say, him making it public that he wants to recycle himself as a farmer. Why and how did that information reach Jeune Afrique? And who are his audience? He is definitely speaking to somebody and some people. Indeed, I promised to tackle Yaya Jammeh for the simple fact that he is a toxic character pretending to be a saint. I've also told Yaya over and over that this is not personal. It is not hatred against him. It is to stand up against somebody who went way far away from betraying a cause that he is saying is representing. You are not going to stop Pan-Africanism and the philosophy of Pan-Africanism and be left alone, Yaya Jammeh. That's not going to happen. You betrayed the cause, you refuse to stay put and to be put on track, you are going to be tackled by that very principle and by that very philosophy of Pan-Africanism. Check the timing again. For those in the Gambia, for those managing the affairs of the state. Now, Yaya Jammeh said he is going to be a farmer. Well, let me remind him one thing. He is nothing, and he still remains nothing other than a toxic character within Africa's political arena. Therefore, he remains damaged and toxic political goods for Africa. Indeed, reflecting on what they, AFPRC and APRC did to Gambians, especially from 2004 to now, when Deda Haidara was shot to the, until to the last hour when Yaya Jammeh was in power, is enough reason for every Gambian to participate in neutralizing him and his cartel by any means at one's disposal, because that's what Yaya is determined to do. Most useful weapon, though, is information or being resourceful. Being intelligent is not the same as mixing intelligence and being resourceful. Below are facts to bear in mind about AFPRC and APRC. Do not say I did not send you a signal. Fact 1. Campaign strategy reveals the party cartel's weaknesses, which they call strategies. Fact 2. Yesterday, a caravan of taxis they paid filled the streets of Cardiff Municipal Council with noise from horns and yells. Fact 4. Why did the cartel party choose that area? Simple to decode. It is Talending Jeswan. It is where Yankuba Koli keeps massaging his ego, thinking the old days still remain here as a gold mine for sycophants. It is the breeding ground for everything anti-democratic or anti-democracy. It is where blind loyalists recruited to serve an evil regime are lodged at. Fact 5. How were they able to get that caravan? Simple to decode. It is the fiefdom of Yankuba Koli, Yankuba Baji, and Fabakary Tombong Jatta. The fainting part of their loyalists will end up disappearing into thin air. But for now, they still have money to use and induce a few gullible and or selfish greedy lot. Fact 6. AFPRC-APRC has refused to announce its new party leader after the departure of Yaya Jammeh. At least that would have shown a signal that they are dissociating themselves from the past terrorist activities of Yaya Jammeh and tyranny and to being a pure and simple political party. The reason behind this vacancy as Party Secretary General is that AFPRC-APRC wants to remain legitimate even though they are aware of the fact that they cannot win. Win for me means not only win elections, but win to cleanse Yaya Jammeh, the serial killer who has been leading this party over the years. Voters should be educated on the fact that voting AFPRC means voting for a headless demon. At least demons with heads can function to defend one another, but headless demons will attract evil and then remain more of a liability than a solution. Thank you very much.